Yeesh, that was a pretty ugly turnaround. What happened at the end of that game there? The wheels really fell out for the boys there. And I guess you can kind of say that was the result we probably should have expected in the first game of this series, especially when you don't have Joel Embiid for the first couple of games with the orbital bone fracture, with the concussion situation. He's going to be missing these first two games, and he'll probably be back by around game 3, game 4 back in Philadelphia. But these are the type of games where you're going to need your top guys to step up. And Tobias Harris was fantastic today. I thought he was brilliant, probably one of the best guys on the court. Tyrese, Maxey, James Harden, they were okay. They had their moments, but they weren't, overly fantastic like Tobias was. And there were a lot of issues because you saw Doc Rivers putting out DeAndre Jordan to start this game. He put him out there to start the second half. And, of course, those minutes with DeAndre Jordan out on the court, they're not going to be pretty. You're going to be outscored. You're going to be basically taken over that entire time because DeAndre Jordan is just not a good player anymore. When you see Paul Reed out there, you have a little bit of hope. You're getting some good buckets. You're getting chances. You're playing better defensively, using that zone aggressively. You had a better second half, and you ended up leading the game going into halftime by, by 1 or 2 points. So that was kind of unexpected, but you showed some fight. The guys were getting into it. James Harden was making some buckets. Tobias Harris was doing his thing, and Tyrese Maxey was doing his thing as well. And you were getting stops defensively. Miami Heat, to start this game, they were basically hitting everything. Second quarter, they struggled a lot, and the Sixers took advantage of it. Exactly what they did. But overall, as you get into the second half, it kind of just looked like the wheels fell off for the entire team. They really struggled, especially from 3 tonight. They were just absolutely brutal. They shot 6 out of 34 from 3. That equals 17.6%. And yeah, maybe if you hit a couple of more of those threes, maybe you hit between 10 and 12 threes, you're probably back in this game, and it's probably a closer game than the score actually tells. But yeah, that's definitely one of the issues from this game. You definitely didn't go to the line as much. You went to the line, went 18 of 20 from the line. You shot 43% from the field in total. And just overall, it looked like the gas just ran out for most of these guys, and Miami just ran away with the game. And right now, we need to hope that in game 2, because right now, I don't believe that the score in this game tells the entire story, because there were moments where the Sixers were able to play with the Heat. I just kind of felt like the wheels just came off the track a little bit at the end of the game there, especially when they're struggling that as much as they did from 3, and they were still within the game for the most part. If they hit a couple of more of those threes, the score's a lot closer than it seems. So you got to hope in game 2 that there's definitely a much better performance shooting wise from this team, especially from beyond the arc, and that guys like James Harden can step up even more. If Tobias Harris can have as great as the game as he did tonight, Tyrese Maxey, if he can find a way to do this thing. And you can't be starting DeAndre Jordan. That's just one of the major issues. Paul Reed was way better tonight on the court. And yes, you also saw a little bit of Paul Millsap out there as well. You saw him for 6 minutes, but Paul Reed was just completely better on the court today for the Sixers, and he provided you a lot better opportunities. So DeAndre Jordan just can't be on the court as much as he was. He played 17 minutes in this game. He was a minus 22. Paul Reed on the side, he played 13 minutes off the bench. He was a minus 3 off of there. And, some other guys coming off of the bench. You got George Niang with a brutal game. He could not hit anything whatsoever. And basically just looking at the rest of the lineup, some of these guys without Joel Embiid, they're going to be getting quite a few minutes in this game. But still, right now, we got to hope going in the game 2. We got to get some of these other guys to, step up a little bit. Maybe the shooting from 3 will be way better. And you can find yourself maybe possibly stealing a game in Miami going back to Philadelphia when you can possibly get Joel Embiid back on the court in game 3. Hopefully that's when he returns. I know it's like either game 3 or game 4 or something like that. So hopefully he can return by then. But right now, we're asking these guys. We're asking Tobias Harris. We're asking Danny Green. We're asking James Harden. We're asking Tyrese Maxey to find a way to steal game 2. And that's the main goal going into that one. Find a way to steal a game and then come back to Philadelphia where you could possibly get Joel Embiid back on the court for game 3. Hopefully, most likely he's going to be wearing the Phantom mask, because you're going to be seeing the Phantom in the process back. So that's going to be a little hype. But it kind of sucks that he did get that injury in that situation in the Toronto series. But Still, before we get into all the rest of the stuff, everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to TTP Sports. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button and also drop a like on the like button as well. If you're looking for all the latest Philadelphia sports news, recaps, and events, this is the place to be at, depending on the outcome, great or miserable, depending on that outcome. Also, if you're a current viewer of the channel, I am grateful for you being here that long and looking to continue that down the road. And if you're looking for tickets to upcoming sporting events, concerts, whatever you can think of, use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. So get yourself some tickets to Game 3 and Game 4 at the Wells Fargo Center for the Sixers. Maybe, they steal a game in Game 2. Get the Wells Fargo Center as loud as possible for the return of Joel Embiid. Definitely can't pass that up. Get yourself some Phillies tickets to the upcoming homestand. It's a deal you can't pass up on. $20 in your pocket. Use that for concessions. Use that for parking. Anything you can think of. It's a great deal. Use the code TTP Sports down below for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek today. It's got to be a new purchase. It's got to be, brand new account. It's got to be your first purchase. So just remember that when you're using the code. Still, great deal that you cannot pass up on. So, Sixers lose Game 1 to the Miami Heat by a score of 106-92. And basically, like I said, looking at the score, I kind of think it does not tell the entire story, just because if you look at the rest of the game, it just kind of felt like the wheels fell off a little bit for a lot of the guys out there on the court, and Miami just ran away with the rest of it. But if you look at that second quarter, with the way the Sixers were managing themselves to stay within it, and it kind of just felt like that from, even though with the way Miami started off hot in the first, it just kind of felt like the Sixers were hanging around a little bit. Some, a little bit the replication of what you saw a little bit in the Toronto series when Toronto was go off on their leads. It kind of felt like the Sixers were hanging around a little bit in there. That's what it kind of felt like a little bit in this game. Just sadly, in the second half, it just wasn't able to be. It wasn't meant to be. And the guys just weren't able to keep up, especially shooting-wise. Shooting-wise, it was just a brutal night for everything for the Sixers. They just couldn't get anything to fall into the basket whatsoever. But still, I think Game 2, you find a way to shoot better, I think you have a much better chance to possibly steal a game in Miami. But looking at the guys today, Tobias Harris was just absolutely fantastic out there on the court, defensively, offensively. He was basically just doing everything out there possible to carry the team on his back, playing 37 minutes, 27 points. I don't think the plus minus really tells the entire story for how great Tobias was, because he was a minus 25 out there on the court. Still, he was fantastic tonight. 11 of 18 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. So Tobias Harris was basically out there doing everything he can on the court possible. So he had an insanely fantastic night, being aggressive, getting to the line, going through the paint, getting those layups, and basically doing everything he possibly could. James Harden, he struggled shooting once again. 16 points. He was a minus 8 on the court. 35 minutes. He was 5 of 13 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. So the assists were definitely down, and that's also granted because a lot of guys struggled shooting wise tonight, especially from beyond the arc. So that's most likely why the assist numbers were down. He had 5 turnovers, though, so he was turning the ball over quite a bit from James Harden. We definitely need a much better James Harden going into the game, too. And hopefully we can find a way to get that to where he can possibly get 20 to 25 points and get those assist number up to at least in the 10-plus assist. That's what we need out of James Harden consistently in these playoffs. And so far, he really hasn't been able to show it consistently, which is kind of an issue. But right now, we definitely need him, Tyrese Maxey, to step up in Game 2. And speaking of Tyrese Maxey, 19 points on the night in 35 minutes. He was a minus 25 on the court. He had his good moments. He had his off moments in this game. So it was basically an up and down game for Tyrese Maxey. He was 6 of 15 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 6 of 6 from the free throw line. He had no rebounds, and he had 2 assists, and he turned the ball over twice. Danny Green, in his 26 minutes tonight, only got 5 points, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 of 6 from the field in total. 4 rebounds, 1 assist for Danny Green. So Danny Green had an off night shooting as well. DeAndre Jordan in his 17 minutes, a minus 22 with 4 points, 2 rebounds as well. And there were a lot of moments when you saw like Adebayo going out there, basically just doing his thing down in the paint. DeAndre Jordan was basically just standing there doing nothing, just looking frozen, just like, standing there like this. Just letting it happen, basically. He basically just, let Adebayo do his thing down there. So that's basically everything that was going on there with DeAndre Jordan. It was just, he can't be on the court. He simply just cannot be on the court whatsoever. I think that is the bottom line with that entire thing for DeAndre Jordan. Going to the bench, Paul Reed was basically your best player off of the bench in 13 minutes. -3 on the court, 4 points. He did get into foul trouble, though. That's one of the issues with Paul Reed. He's going to get into foul trouble. He had 5 fouls in tonight's game, 2 of 6 from the field. He got 9 boards, so 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. So there definitely was a difference when you had Paul Reed out there under center. And that's one of the things right now. Yeah, the foul trouble is definitely going to be, crucial, just because that's why Paul Reed can't play, full time, because he's going to get those foul issues. He's going to get, exploited in that direction. So right now he was also getting beat a couple of times, which hence he was drawing so many fouls in this game. But still, Paul Reed, there was a little bit of a different presence from him out there on the court tonight. So that gave the Sixers a little bit of juice, especially in that part of the first half in that second quarter. So looking at some of the other guys on the bench, like I said, George Niang, hey, brutal night shooting wise, 0 points off the bench in 22 minutes. He played so many minutes, and he was barely hitting anything out there on the field. He just couldn't get anything to fall for him. +6 out there, 0 of 7, 1 assist, 2 steals. He just couldn't get anything to fall. I'm very surprised he was a +6 out there. That is very surprising in my opinion right there. You saw Charles Bassey out there for a little bit in 5 minutes. He was a +5 out there on the court with 2 points. So I'm not sure going into game 2, does Charles Bassey get more of a look than a guy like a DeAndre Jordan? Did you go maybe a Paul Reed, Paul Millsap, and a Charles Bassey mix? But with Doc Rivers, he's going to throw DeAndre Jordan as much out there as possible, even though people are going to question that in the press conference, and he's going to, say, oh, we got to play DeAndre Jordan, blah, blah, blah. He's going to, do what he says and criticize the media for asking him those type of questions. That's basically what you're going to get from Doc Rivers. So basically, I am expecting nothing less out of that. So looking at some of the other guys on the bench, Matisse Thybulle, 2 points in 15 minutes. He was a -4. Really no impact there from him. Same thing from Shake Milton. He got 4 points in 15 minutes. Furkan Korkmaz with 9 points in 10 minutes. So just overall, the gas just fell off the pedals. That's basically it for this team. I don't think the score tells the entire story, but overall, it was just once you got into, the halfway through the third quarter, you knew this game was basically over because nothing was just falling for this team. And basically, like I said, the gas just emptied the tanks. That's basically all it was. And just looking at some of the other guys for the Miami Heat when they don't have Kyle Lowry in this game. So you got PJ Tucker with 10 points. You get Jimmy Butler with 15. Bam Adebayo with 24. Vincent with 10. You got Tyler Herro going with 25 points off of the bench in 29 minutes. 4 of 6 from 3. 9 of 17 from the field. 3 of 3 from the free throw line. So Tyler Herro was basically doing his thing in this game. So, and that's definitely going to be another question when guys like, when Kyle Lowry comes back into play. So what's going to happen with that situation? There's going to be a ton of question marks with this team right now. And just looking at, the rebounds were definitely a major issue in this game, especially without Joel Embiid. You had 37 rebounds to their 47. Offensive boards, they grabbed 15. So you really struggled, especially with the offensive rebounds tonight. You did force them to turn the ball over a lot, though. You scored 22 points off of turnovers. So that was one thing. And you also prevented, those turnover points, especially. You turned the ball over 15 times. They only score 9 points off those turnovers. So I guess you can say that's a little bit of the right side. But still, right now, I'm not going to go crazy after this loss just because I know the implications and I saw what this team was able to do. They were able to compete in this game for some points. But right now, for game 2, I need James Harden and Tyrese Maxey to have a way better game than they had tonight. If Tobias Harris can find a way to play like he did today, if you have those two, especially with Maxey and Harden going off as well, you have a better chance of possibly stealing a game in Miami. And that's the most important thing right there. Down 2-0 going back to Philadelphia, that's a different story. If you're tied 1-1 going back to Philadelphia with Joel Embiid possibly coming back for game 3, you have yourself a series here. I'm not sure how it will be if you're going down 2-0 back to Philadelphia, but you definitely have a much better chance going 1-1 back to Philly with Joel Embiid coming back onto the court. So that's definitely something there. So looking at the rest of the series for when the schedule is, so your next game is going to be on Wednesday at 7:30, and then game 3 back in Philly, that'll be on Friday at 7, and then Sunday you'll have an 8 p.m. game for game 4 in Philadelphia. Then game 5 is on the 10th, which is a Tuesday. Game 6, if necessary, is on the 12th, which is a Thursday. And then game 7, if necessary, will be on Sunday, the 15th of May. So right now, got to find a way to be better. James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, yeah, we got to find a way to steal a game. That's basically all it is right now. I see some guys over here in the comment section, channel name, always joining up the chat. I appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, definitely a bummer. Thanks for the coverage, man. I get off work so late, so you don't get to see every game. Oh, I definitely appreciate you joining the streams, dude. I am grateful that you join the streams and definitely everything like that. Definitely everyone here that joins the live feed and all that stuff that views the streams. I recap basically every Sixers game after the end. I recap every Phillies game, Philadelphia sports game. So definitely stay tuned for all that. I definitely recommend you hitting that subscribe button, dropping a like on the like button as well. So everything that you can basically do. Also, I drop a little bit of a Twitter follow right there for Amadeo Gracia 98 on Twitter. I'll definitely put that down below in the definite future. It's also down in the description too of this video as well. So definitely go check that out. But definitely, yeah, like you said, channel, let's go steal a game. Definitely let's go steal a game. Right now, let's see if that can happen for this team. Still overall, not entirely worried. I'll be a little bit more worried if you do lose game 2. But right now, game 2, that's not until Wednesday. Let's see if you can steal a game. Let's see what James Harden, Tyrese Maxey can do to step up. And that's the most important thing from there. So we're going to wait and see what happens in that kind of thing. So we got channel name saying Harden kind of cementing his reputation for having no postseason success. Yeah, that's definitely going to be a little bit of the storyline right here with the way James Harden has been playing. That's definitely going to be something that's going to be brought up a lot. So that's definitely, a topic for, a conversation, just in case you say the Sixers do possibly get eliminated. That's definitely part of the conversation. So that's something to discuss for a future date. You never know. You definitely never know in that instance. So that's going to do it for this recap, everyone. What are your thoughts on this game? And what are your thoughts on possibly going into game 2? Do you think the Sixers can steal a game there? So don't forget to leave your comments and opinions down in the comment section below. I'd like to see those as always. Don't forget to drop a like on this video as well. Don't forget to check out the painted lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. Do not forget to check those out. And like I said at the beginning of the video, the most important thing you can do is hit that sub button and also drop a like on the like button as well. And use the code TTPSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. And I will see you next time as I'm going to enjoy some Stanley Cup playoffs round 1. A couple of games on tonight. So I'm going to enjoy that. So I will see you guys next